Hello, everybody. Everything just went flying off my desk. Anyway, yeah. So as I said earlier, I'm doing a reboot, starting with Genesis again, and chapter one is the main. I think that's you can get a lot of information. Now, a lot of people take the Bible very literally, and that's not how it was meant to be taken, I don't think. The story of Genesis was written long after the event supposedly happened. Number two, the 7 days. The only reason for the 7 days is because with our limited minds, we can't handle what it's like with God. I mean, God is not a linear, 24-hour a day, 7 day a week kind of guy. Uh, we can't follow his time scale because our brains have been limited on purpose. We're here to learn, we're here to grow, we're here to develop. We went as far as we could as spirits before we came to this world. Now we have to learn here in this world. And I think there's one thing in chapter one. Now there's 50 chapters in Genesis. Some of them are pretty small, so I'll be combining them. But in chapter one, you have to pay attention really to what this is. It's in the beginning, God created the heavens and earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the water. And then God said, light. That was before day one. So the thing you have to think about is when you're reading this, it never mentions the whole universe. And the way it's written, it sounds like the earth was created before the rest of the universe, where we know it's not true. This was the interpretation that was passed down. Now, mankind has only been writing for about 53,000 years. The earth is way older than that. People are way older than that. But we didn't begin writing, but there was the spoken word, and there was the storytelling, and there was the passing along information. And like in the word, like in the, not the word, but the game telephone, things can get misinterpreted, things get shortened. So I'm not saying the Bible lies. I'm saying that it's not literal. It's not exact. And I know people are very upset by saying that, but that is the truth. If you pray, openly with your eyes and ears open, waiting for the Holy Ghost to tell you inside, you will know that Genesis was a story that had been passed down, and finally, once writing came to be, it was written. Eventually. Don't know exactly when, but one thing I watched earlier today was unfortunately this isn't part of the Dead Sea Scrolls. Now I have a great uncle, my sister told me Vernon is his name. I mean, my mom told me who it was. My grandmother's family, all the kids except for my grandmother, names start with V. So there's 9 kids. 8 of them first names start with V. My grandmother's second name starts with V. V. So it's kind of hard to remember who's who, but Vernon, I guess, he was super educated. Half of them were incredibly well educated. And he actually could read Hebrew and Sanskrit and Aramaic And he got a opportunity to go to the Middle East one time and work with some of the most ancient scrolls that they have. So, and he came back saying that, the King James Bible, not spot on. There were things lost in the translation, and there were things that were definitely changed on purpose because King James didn't like women. So, I'm sorry about the nervous laugh. King James didn't like women, and he was raised that way, unfortunately for him. But it isn't until verse 5 where God called the light day and the darkness he called night. So that was morning and evening, day 1. Now I have a feeling these 7 days were shortened quite a bit. They're not to be literally taken as 7 days. And I know people swear up and down, it was 7 days. It's like, no, I don't think so. But anyways, pray about it, think about it. Okay, and then we go to 6 is when it's slowly the next day where the firmaments and all this stuff happened. So that is so important to remember, is the very first four verses are not even the first day yet. So right there you have more than 7 days. And the next really important thing, at least to me, and a lot of women out there, is verse 27. So God created man in his own image. The image of God, he created him, male and female. He created them. Right there, God created men and female in his image. Women were not created in Adam's image. We were made in God's image. And chapter 1 isn't terribly long, but it talks about all the beasts, and it's kind of like a summary of the beginning of Genesis. Exodus is the next book, but so the rest of Genesis is or the next few chapters of Genesis, I think, are just going over the same thing, just adding more detail to it. But this is the interesting thing. The first 5 books of the Christian Bible, Old Testament, are the first 5 books of the Hebrew Bible, which is called the Tanakh, I think. Well, those 5 books are called the Torah. And when I was younger, I thought the Torah was the Hebrew Bible, but there's a lot more to it. Anyway, those 5 books, if you look at they're called the books of Moses. It doesn't say who wrote them. The Jewish tradition says that they were written by many people. That a lot of people added things and put things and changed things, as revelations came to people. Sometimes things were changed and corrected or added on to or adjusted, because they have some very, very, very old scrolls that they can compare them. And they see that now they can compare them, and they can see that there are changes in there. They're not drastic, but they change a lot of the meaning. So that's it for Genesis chapter 1. I'm sorry I prattled on. Oops, sorry, my hand. I hope you enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to getting back into Genesis. So please subscribe if you see this and you like it. Bye.